Welcome to the Girl Gang. I'm Katrina Gardner of Katrina and Create.
And I'm Dominique Goyette-Connerty of Evergreen Marketing. On this show, we're going to chat with women business owners in Massachusetts and those who support local women in business.
Because girls don't just want to have fun. They also want to sell real estate.
They want to open a brewery.
They want to teach others to invest in the stock market.
They want to take stunning photos, plan lavish parties, and help people recover from injuries.
Girls just want a podcast.
What can we say?
We're girls.
Welcome to Girls Just Wanna.
Welcome. We are recording this. What day is it? It's April 11th.
Yeah.
We're recording this intro. And
Taxes are due.
Taxes are due the 15th, question mark? That's right?
Yes.
That's yeah, it's the 15th. So like literally like next Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
Have you done your taxes yet?
No.
Okay, so I am working with an accountant this year because I have the business and I also have some weird stuff from last year because I had my full-time job, I had a part-time job, I lost my private health insurance, so I am
confusing.
on the health connector. So like there's so many different, when you're on the health connector, you get forms from the state government, and like I collected unemployment for like a month, and so I have that, and so there's just like so much stuff. But also even just being like a small business owner, like the taxes for that, you basically always want to hire someone else to do because you really don't want to F it up.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm working with an accountant. I made sure that was all set to go like last October. Like, okay, you're going to reach out to me during tax season. We're going to work together. Yep. Okay. January comes, nothing. February comes, nothing. March comes. It's March 1st. I haven't heard from them. So I'm like, hey, am I supposed to be hearing from you? Like, you told me you sent me documents, whatever, to fill out. And they're like, oh, sorry, you never got our email like 6 weeks ago. Here's the tax folder that you need to fill out. But yeah, you're all set. And like once you fill it out, and then someone, great. So I spent hours because it's such a pain to gather all the information I need. I spent hours uploading the documents, still hear nothing. So then like March 31st, I was like, hey, like haven't heard anything. And like, we're 2 weeks away. And they're like, yep, like someone's working on your return. They'll reach out to you if they have any questions. I'm like, okay. Like, it's just weird because I feel like when I've had my taxes done by someone else before, I go in person and sit with them while they do it, like an H&R Block.
Yes.
This is probably a little bit more longer of a process, which is fine. So they just do it and then they reach out to you if they have questions. Fine. So after several emails back and forth, yesterday I get this draft that says, great, your taxes are done. We don't have any questions. There's, this is a draft for you to review. We haven't actually filed them yet, but I think if I'm reading correctly, everybody make sure you're sitting down. They're trying to tell me, and it must be a mistake. There's no way on God's green earth that this is real. This is an April Fool's joke. They're trying to tell me that I owe like over $20,000.
No.
Which is not real. I'm laughing, but like also crying. But I'm like, there's absolutely no fathomable way that is possible, because if you know how much money I make, which is not a lot at all, $20,000 is like significant, especially because you're crying too. You're like, no, I'm so scared. Right? So I'm like, there's no way. But then again, given the state of the country, I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Oh my God.
So I was like, no, this can't be real. And they were like, oh, sorry for the confusion. Like, that's supposed to be like an estimate of like what you would owe. And I'm like, it's nowhere near 20,000. I can tell you that much. I do anticipate owing because I took my business full time last September. So like just for the final like 4 months of the year, I was making like, again, not a lot because I'm like new to business, but I was making business income that doesn't get taxed, right? So like ideally I'll be paying in quarterly, which I haven't started doing yet. So like I definitely owe on whatever income I made those last 4 months. But mind you, I had a full-time job from January to September that I was paying taxes on that salary and had a part-time job the whole year,
Yeah.
paying into taxes
Yeah.
on my wages. So like, there's no way that this 4-month period, I didn't even make
Yeah.
$20,000 of business income in a 4-month period. So for them to say I owe $20,000 would be insane. So they definitely miscalculated, which unfortunately isn't a surprise because of all the back and forth and, oh, you didn't get the tax organizer and you didn't, and well, oh, like I'm reaching out, like I haven't heard from anyone. Like, so I feel very confident that it is a mistake on their end, but I'm like, also, I'm nervous now.
I'm so scared.
So Katrina, when are you gonna do your taxes now that it's April 11th?
So we've always done our taxes ourselves.
Okay.
And Jesse handles it. He just like goes on to TurboTax and he does the stuff. And we usually get like a good tax return, especially since we had Jamie. But last year I started like working for myself part-time.
Yeah.
And like,
Right. You have a little bit of side income that's
did
not
not
getting
make
taxed.
a lot,
No, yeah.
but made enough that like,
That you're gonna get taxed.
yeah, Wix is sending me the forms. I'm like, stop it. You know,
Oh.
PayPal's sending me the form. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so like,
It shouldn't be exorbitant though. Like it shouldn't be crazy.
no, I don't
You
think.
you might have to pay in a little bit, but especially you have wages from a full-time job. Jesse has wages from a full-time job. You have the tax breaks for Jamie. So
Yeah.
you might not even have to pay in at all because it might
Right.
just come from whatever.
My hope is that just our return that
Yeah,
we get
will
be
cover
less
most of it.
than
Yeah.
the previous year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, you know, like I'll be fine. I'll just like put aside like enough money. But, you know, life is expensive
Yeah.
and I haven't done that yet.
Well, I can tell you what, I did not put aside $20,000 to pay taxes. So TBD, if I'm not here on the next podcast, it's because I've gone to IRS jail, which I'm sure is a thing.
Because you've fled the
I'm
country.
confident. I'm confident I'll be thrown into IRS jail. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
oh man, keep us updated.
if you're watching this, it is now past tax day.
yeah.
And so if you're like, oh shoot, I didn't do my taxes, you're late. So like, figure that out maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, girlies.
I know last year was great. We got like a huge tax return. We were able to buy a new window, like our bay window,
Oh yeah.
with our tax return.
Nice.
You know, great.
Home ownership.
Love it.
It
Gotta
sounds
love
like a
it.
dream. All right.
Okay.
So here's our next guest
Guest.
episode, which again is a solo interview. If you watched last week's episode, you know that Katrina was out sick the day that we had to tape these interviews. So I did
Yep.
this one alone. And then don't worry, Katrina will be back next week for the interviews. All right.
Well, fingers crossed.
Well, unless she comes down with neuro again. Or hey, you never know. I could.
Yep. You never know.
You never know.
All right.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Hey ladies, are you looking to grow your own local girl gang?
The Young Professional Women's Association has been named Worcester Region's Best Young Professionals Network for 7 years now.
YPWA offers countless social and professional opportunities to engage and empower local ladies like you and me.
Right now, Girls Just Wanna listeners can get discounted access to YPWA's annual membership.
Go to ypwaworcester.com and enter code podcast2025 at checkout to receive $20 off their annual membership. Again, that promo code is podcast2025. We hope to see you soon at YPWA events.
Welcome to Girls Just Want a Podcast. My dear friend, Miranda Hotham. She is the Zero Waste Coordinator for the City of Worcester. Hi.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
Yeah,
It's
good
been
to
a
see you.
while.
It's been too long.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
We just we're those friends that sporadically text each other like once every 6 months. Like, hey, you alive? Yeah? Okay.
Cool. Good to know.
Cool. Check on you in another 6 months. So I basically used the podcast as an excuse to hang out with my friend.
Nice.
Okay, so in all seriousness, I know you well, but the people might not. So tell the people who you are, what you do. You love trash. let's get into it.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm the zero waste coordinator at the City of Worcester, like you said. And yeah, I'm weirdly very passionate about trash and recycling and all things waste reduction, especially wanting to move us closer to a circular economy. That's my main goal, main dream.
Yeah.
So I work out of the Department of Sustainability and Resilience right now. And I've been working a lot on the development for our first zero waste master plan for the City of Worcester.
Which we're going to get into. But if I know one thing about Miranda, it's that she loves trash talk.
Yeah.
I've known this girl for a few years, so I know that she just can't wait to talk all things trash.
That's true. Yeah, I won't stop talking about it.
Like, I'm probably going to have to cut her off at some point in this interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the first ever zero waste coordinator. So this is a new position, which is why it's kind of a big deal and why I wanted you on the show. So like, why did the City of Worcester start this position, and like how has it been kind of navigating, because you started in like 2023, right?
Yep.
So what's the first year and a half or so been like, kind of like creating your own path in this new position?
So in 2021 we launched the Green Worcester plan, and that has a bunch of different sections, but one of those sections is about zero waste and how moving us closer to zero waste is going to help with a lot of the impacts that we're seeing that are leading to climate change. So its goal is to essentially reduce the emissions that we're creating through our trash and recycling programs. And so out of that, they just established my position, the zero waste coordinator, and one of the first goals for the zero waste coordinator is to write the zero waste master plan. And that has taken me a long time. So my first year was really about developing the scope of work and kind of outlining what we want the plan to include. And then we put that out to bid, and we hired a consultant to help with that. And then we also put out to bid for a waste characterization study, which basically means the consultant is looking at samples of trash and dividing it into 50 different categories. And that's going to tell us kind of the composition of our waste stream across our municipal buildings, our schools, our residential program that does the yellow bags, and then also our residents that are not serviced by our program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Green Worcester, just to like step back for a quick second, Green Worcester is the City of Worcester's plan, correct me if I'm wrong, to become like one of the most sustainable, climate resilient cities by like 2050.
Yeah, they want to be the greenest mid-sized city in America.
Okay, lofty goal.
Very ambitious, yeah.
Lofty goal, but we have 25 more years to get there.
We have 25 more years to get there, and I honestly think that we are very ambitious in our planning, and we're pretty serious about it. We have our Department of Sustainability and Resilience, which a lot of cities don't have that already.
Okay, that's good to know.
And we've been kind of filling in the staff along the way. So it was established in 2021, and we have about 10 staff people now.
Okay.
And we're continuing to grow. So we're actually hiring right now.
Oh,
interested in energy.
If you want to talk trash, but more importantly, talk energy,
come on over.
Hit Miranda up, and she'll point you in the right direction. Okay, so like you said, part of Green, a sub portion of Green Worcester is the zero waste.
Right.
So you've written this zero waste master plan, which just recently like launched, right?
So I haven't written it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm planning it.
Okay.
So right now we're doing a lot of the research. So one part of that is going to be like community and stakeholder engagement. So we just launched a survey this week for residents to take, looking for their input on our waste management programs that we have. We're going to be hosting 5 listening sessions. So we have one coming up next week at the Chamber of Commerce with the businesses. So we'll be getting a lot of feedback from them. And then we're also reaching out to like a lot of the waste haulers in the area and trying to understand our capacity that we have. And then the waste characterization study is another really important part of that. So all of this research is probably going to take us about a year to complete. And once we finish all of that research, we'll be putting that all together into an actionable plan. So it'll really kind of establish our baseline generation data. So we'll know how much waste we're creating, how much we're sending to landfill, how much we're sending to the recycling facilities. And then it'll also create goals for reduction, which I don't know what the goals are yet because we haven't written it yet.
So right now you're kind of like the research that you're doing is establishing what steps you're going to take in the future to get us to the 2050 goal.
Yeah, I'm really trying to understand like what opportunities we have for diversion efforts, and then trying to figure out what steps we need to put in place to be able to get those materials out of our waste stream and send them someplace else.
Can you better define, or can you like explain, like I'm a 5-year-old, zero waste, which seems self-explanatory, right? No waste.
No, actually, a
But
lot
it's
of people
not.
don't know what it is.
So if you could take this opportunity to explain what it means to be aiming for a zero waste, environment or city.
Yeah. So, I mean, ideally, you would have no trash. You would send nothing to final disposal. And so that really means prioritizing reuse, rethinking the way that we design a lot of our products, trying to make things so that they don't end their life so early. It's an emphasis on repair. Don't just throw things away, try to fix them first, maybe donation of a lot of things. And so it's really just trying to like capture every material that already exists on this planet and bringing it back into the economy, and turning it back into a product and bringing it back into the hands of the consumer. We have enough product already on this planet. We have a finite amount of space. We don't have more space to put our trash anywhere else. And so we really should be taking advantage of the fact that a lot of those materials already exist, and we don't need to keep extracting from our planet and making more and more plastics.
And introducing more things into the finite space that we have.
Correct.
I think I read that this is particularly important in Massachusetts because we have, is it 6 landfills and or all 6 landfills? I think I read this, correct me again. All 6 landfills are set to be like full and shut down by 2030.
Yeah, that's
insane.
Yeah, it is.
So like 5 years is not a long time.
Yeah.
So we got 5 years to figure out where the F we're putting our trash.
Yeah, literally it's our trash. So
because the one in, is it Chicopee already where was it? Western Mass. One of them already closed.
Yeah.
And so it's like imminent.
Yeah. It's
that freaks me out.
And it's not just Massachusetts that's having this problem. It's a lot of America. And so we're like running out of space. Like, where do you put your trash? And it's like the cities are becoming more and more urban, and so we're losing more and more land too. And there's a lot of laws now, like in Massachusetts, you can't build a new landfill. So it's not like we can even create a new one. And so it is important for us to figure out what we're going to do with our waste. A lot of people want us to just send it out of state, put it on a train, send it out. But that's just kind of like giving someone else your problem. Yeah. That's not really solving the issue. And, that's
and then what happens when the place that we send it to also runs out of space?
Correct.
We have to send it somewhere else now?
Yeah.
In general, the whole world is just running out of space.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
That's tough. I'm going to swallow that pill real quick.
Yep.
Okay. And we're moving on.
Yeah.
So like one of the goals of zero waste in Worcester is moving us towards what's called a circular economy. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So kind of what you started describing, which is that, these products enter into existence and we use them and then either like recycle or repurpose, because I know we can get into recycling as well, being effective or not effective. But repurposing it and putting it back into use, maybe upcycling it, maybe repairing it, maybe donating it for someone else to use. So that's kind of like, I guess, the main goal, right?
Yeah.
Is moving towards this circular economy.
Yeah. So right now we live in an economy that's take, make, waste. So we take from the earth, we make a product, someone uses it, and then we throw it away. We've kind of shifted more into a recycle economy lately, especially in the 21st century, where a lot of stuff is getting recycled, but it's only getting recycled a certain number of times, and it's still going to waste at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so the goal with a circular economy is to get rid of the take part and get rid of the waste part and just keep it going in a circle. Like I said, we already have a lot of these resources extracted from the earth. Like, we pulled out enough plastic that I don't really feel like we need more plastic in this planet. It's sitting in the ocean. If you really want some more, you can go scoop it out and make something out of it. But yeah, I think ideally it would be like getting rid of the the idea that we need to keep extracting things from the planet. We need to keep taking virgin materials, and really like finding a new way to design our products so that we don't have to throw them away.
So can you talk about like some of the tangible things that you've been working on? I know I saw, I think, was it a study, or you've already started implementing like putting more waste receptacles around the city, like in public places? For like, because like to stop the litter portion of it at the very least. So that's like one thing I know you've been working on. What are some other things that people around the city like would see you, the team, the Department of Sustainability and Resilience working on?
So primarily I'm working on the master plan, but secondarily I'm working on education and outreach. So we just created our first comprehensive trash and recycling guide for the City of Worcester. So that tells you what belongs in your recycling bin, but it also tells you all of the services we offer. We accept 80 bulk items at our drop-off center. A lot of people don't know that. We also offer free curbside collection of your textiles in Worcester. So that's all included in the guide. And any questions that people have about anything else, it tells them exactly where you can go. Like if you're like wondering if something belongs in your recycling bin or not, it tells you exactly where you can go look that up. So getting that guide out and distributing that has been a really important part of my work. We've also been like tabling at different events, just talking to different people in the community, trying to get the information out there. And I've also been working a lot with our quality of life team. So I help with the city manager's clean team events. We now have something called the Clean Streets Collective. So community-based organizations can sign up for that and hand out green bags to people that pick up litter on their free time. That way they don't have to pay for disposal through the yellow bags. Yeah, so that's been a pretty successful one. And I've also been working on developing our Green Worcester dashboard to have a zero waste page on that as well. So, just making more information available to people and really updating it. I found a lot of our information has not been updated since like the 90s.
Oh no.
So,
oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've reached my favorite part of the discussion, which is you've mentioned these handy dandy yellow trash bags. So it's funny that Katrina's not here today. So Katrina doesn't live in Worcester proper. Katrina lives in Millbury. But here in the City of Worcester, which is where I live, we have a pay as you throw program, which for listening and watching who don't live in Worcester might not know, but I know like the town that I grew up in, for example, the residents pay to have a trash collection company come on a certain day and pick up their trash. Like you pay for the service
privately.
Yes, in my parents' hometown, or in my hometown where my parents still live. I think that's the case in a lot of cities and towns. Here in Worcester, it's different where you as the consumer or as the resident pay for the bags, which are yellow, and that's where you dispose of your trash. And if on your collection day, the city comes around and they pick it up because you've already paid for the service by paying for the bags. We also have zero sort recycling. So we put everything out in bins. Doesn't have to sort. It's just any of the recyclable materials all go in this one bin, and they get picked up for free. However, there's a lot of confusion about what is trash and what is recycling and what can and can't go in each. And so we're going to clarify that with the expert herself, because she has taught me so much over the years. So I think you've prepared a little game for us.
I have.
Let's play Does It Belong in Your Recycling? Okay, quiz me.
Are you ready?
I feel pretty confident. I was hoping Katrina would be here for this because, again, since she doesn't live in Worcester, I was like going to school her. Like I was going to be so good at the answers.
We talk a lot of trash. So
we have talked a lot of trash over the years. So I hope I know my stuff, but I'm sure you have curveballs in here. Okay.
I did put some in here.
Okay, here we go. Let's test my knowledge.
All right. I'll give you the easy one first.
Okay.
A pizza box.
No. Oh my God, am I wrong?
You have to say trash or recycling.
Oh, okay. It's trash. Oh no. Okay. Is this a trick question?
It's not meant to be. It was supposed to be the easy one.
Oh, I thought that the bottom half of the pizza box that gets like greasy and contaminated is trash, and that the top half, if it's clean, can be recycling if you rip it into two pieces.
Yeah, so you're really nice. But it actually can all go in the recycling. They're accepting the greasy ones now.
They are?
Yeah.
Wow.
So just make sure there's no crust in there and no crumbs.
Okay.
But
Just give it a little shake out in the driveway?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, if that's where you want to shake it out, I shake it out in the trash can. But
Oh,
yeah.
okay, sure.
Feed the birds, I guess. Zero waste.
Circular economy.
Yeah. It's getting back into the planet.
Okay.
Red Solo cup.
Oh God, I guess I'm not as good at this game. I haven't used a red Solo cup in 10 years, so I'm gonna go.
It's like 4th of July. You're out with your friends.
I would think recycling, but I'm probably wrong.
You are wrong. That one goes in the trash.
So what type is it a certain number plastic? Is that why?
No, it's any like single-use foodware. So if you have like plastic cups, paper cups, plastic utensils like forks and spoons.
Okay, I knew that one.
Want that. Yeah.
Okay, but even if the cup is clean, even if the red Solo, okay.
Yeah. No, I can't recycle that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I fact checked these before I came in.
Okay.
So.
All right. Here we go. Well, I mean, listen, you're the expert.
Yeah.
I love this game. Let's go.
Okay. A plastic straw.
No, trash.
That one goes in your trash.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay.
That one when I go to the material recovery facility, I see so many plastic straws that end up in the glass pile, and that's why we don't want them, because that's not a good product. I can't really sell glass with plastic in it.
Right.
Okay. Aluminum foil.
Trash.
You can recycle it.
Really?
Yeah.
But it has to be clean, right?
Yeah, you want it to be. Yeah.
So like if I, bake on it and it's covered in like oil and grease or whatever.
Yeah, throw that away. But I'll eat like a burrito and my burrito's wrapped in it. My it's pretty clean now.
Yeah.
So you can throw that in.
Okay. All right.
Aluminum is a really good thing to recycle.
Okay.
A tube of toothpaste.
Trash.
That one goes in the trash.
Okay.
You'll notice though, a lot of those toothpaste say, "Please recycle me."
Okay, well, don't
They're
listen to them.
You. They didn't trick you though.
They didn't trick. So here's my thing about recycling is I know that some things can go in recycling if they're clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not going to spend 10 minutes scrubbing like a crusty peanut butter jar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I'm putting it in the trash because I'm going to waste so much water and soap and whatever and time trying to get that peanut butter jar clean. So it's just going in the trash. If that's right or wrong, I'm not really sure, but
that's fine. I'm lazy sometimes too.
Well, it's just like, what am I really going to do? Cut my toothpaste tube open, scrape all the excess toothpaste out, give it a good wash, and then put it in the recycling?
Yeah.
Come on, let's be real.
No, that's why we need to redesign our product.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And it starts with the creation.
Last one I have for you is like that plastic wrap that comes around your paper towels. You know what I'm talking about?
Trash.
Yeah, that's trash.
Pretty much like any like thin plastic like that.
Any flimsy plastics, if you can take
like a saran wrap.
Yeah. A good rule is like if you can wrap it around your wrist, it goes in the trash.
Okay.
Because those will actually like braid around each other kind of.
Yeah.
And then get tangled in the sorting machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say it hurts the machines, right?
Yeah. Well, we have to shut down the whole machine, and then somebody has to climb inside it and cut it out.
Do you want that job?
No, it's super dangerous. I don't want anybody to have to do that. Like stop putting plastic film in there.
Before we started rolling, you did tell me you're going dumpster diving after this.
Am.
So I never know with Miranda what type of trash jobs she wants.
Yeah.
Professional dumpster diver. Some of the other ones that weren't on your list, like I feel like I see, this is so awful because it's kind of weird, but I see my neighbors recycling and I'm like, just that shouldn't be in there, but I don't want to like take it out of the recycling. Like I don't think I should be touching my neighbor's stuff.
I don't think you should either.
And I won't, but I do see it and I'm like, damn, like they need more education.
Yeah.
But like I've seen styrofoam containers. What else have I seen? Like you said, I've seen a lot of plastic straws. Like someone will get like, I don't know, a milkshake.
A lot of people will put like their Dunkin' cups in.
Yeah.
Like the straw in the lid.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. And so crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah.
Where can people find that guide that you were talking about?
So it's coming out in the mail. You should be getting it. It's coming out in batches. So throughout the whole year, I don't really know who gets what
at what time.
But, it's coming.
Oh my God, I can't wait till it comes in my mailbox. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram story.
I actually brought you one, and And it's available online.
Okay.
So if you go to worcesterma.gov/trash-recycling, it's right there, and it's in 4 languages.
Okay, good. So
Yeah.
now people can also play a little game of their own and go
Yeah.
see what they've been recycling incorrectly this whole time.
Yeah, and if people want to hand them out to their friends and stuff, just send me an email. I really want to get it out into as many hands as I possibly can, so I'm happy to give you a stack of them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. How can people, besides like helping distribute information and helping educate their friends, get involved with Zero Waste Worcester or Green Worcester in general? Can people be volunteering to help pick up trash? Like, do you have, I don't know, Earth Day related things coming up? How can people help you?
Yeah, so we have a newsletter. If you go on greenworcester.org, I think it is, we have our newsletter there that you can sign up and you can keep up with everything that we're doing.
Okay.
And that will have more information when we announce the dates of the city manager's clean team. We're going to have 4 this year if people want to come out and help clean up then. And then we'll also be sending out information about how to get involved in the master plan because we really want as many people to provide us feedback as possible. So we'll have the survey and we'll have the listening sessions. We'll have some online town halls. So there's lots of opportunities for people to get involved. So please follow us.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we go, we like to give every guest the opportunity to shout out, another woman in business, woman, led organization or department. Do you have someone in mind?
Yeah, I want to shout out our consultant, Diversion Designers, who's leading the charge on the waste characterization study that we're doing right now. She's based out of Colorado, and she's here in Massachusetts right now, and she's going dumpster diving with me. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Go girls.
Yeah, we love talking about trash over here.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you, Miranda, for coming on the show and spreading the good word and helping us reduce our waste, hopefully, so we can, not fill all of our landfills.
Yeah,
and run out of space.
Refuse and then reduce and then recycle.
Yes. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Miranda.
Yeah, thank you.
Want to show your love for all the local ladies in business? Girls Just Want a Podcast merch is now available on Etsy.
From stickers to mugs and hats to tumblers, you can rep your favorite gal gang wherever you go.
Your purchase helps us continue to rent studio space, upgrade our recording equipment, and pay for editing software.
Find Girls Just Want a merch on Katrina and Create's Etsy shop. Link is in the show notes.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Heart it or hate it.
Heart it or hate it.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Heart it or hate it. Donuts.
Heart it.
Heart it. I could go for a
1000%.
donut right now.
Yeah. Jamie and I had gotten into a little schedule of going to Dunkin' Donuts after gymnastics on Saturdays.
I heard of this.
We haven't been doing it as much because Jesse decided to join us for gymnastics, which is like great family bonding. But he likes to go to Cake Shop, which again, supporting small business.
Yeah.
So,
Cake Shop have donuts?
No.
Well, they have like muffins though and stuff, right?
yes.
They have like bakery goods.
Yes. And Jamie loves himself a croissant.
Really?
Big croissant guy.
Big little croissant guy.
Yeah.
Big croissant for a little guy.
Yeah. So we're not going to Dunkin' Donuts as often. And we used to, when he was really little, I would go to Rocco's all the time.
Okay, so here's what I was going to say.
Uh-huh.
I would really love a donut,
Mm-hmm.
but I want it to be a good donut.
Yeah.
So although Dunk's is there in times of need,
Yeah.
their donuts, not that good.
I mean-
Compared to,
Yes.
you could have Rocco's. You could
I
have,
will
if anyone's
say-
ever been to Maine, you could have Congdon's.
Getting weekly Rocco's was rougher on the wallet than weekly
Oh, I'm
Dunkin's.
sure. But like, I want a really good donut. I don't
Yeah.
want these like the
Oh, yeah.
ones that are like
And
cake consistency.
at Rocco's, like, yes, the s'mores ones are fun. Yes, the Fruity Pebbles is fun. But like, just give me like a chocolate frosted, and it is just so good.
Yeah. Well, now I could really go for a donut.
Maybe I'll go to Rocco's on the
But
way
there's
home.
so many good donut places around here.
Yeah.
Donut Homies.
Oh yeah, I did Donut Homies for my sister's baby shower,
Oh.
and I ordered like 100 donuts. And I went by myself to pick them up. And this was at the Worcester Public Market. And I happened to run into friends. And it was me and Jamie.
And they were like, you good? You got 100 donuts in there.
Yeah, so I have baby Jamie in a stroller. He's like 1 because it's for my sister's second baby. And they're like, here's all your donuts. And it's just like boxes. And I've got the stroller. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I run into like my friend and her husband. And I'm like, hi
Thank
guys.
God you're here.
I know. I'm like, oh, good, a man. Okay.
But yeah, so I gotta go hard it on donuts.
Yeah, heart it, big time. Okay. Mine is heart it or hate it cruises.
Never been on one. I'm gonna go hate it.
Never been on one. I want to go on one. I do suffer from seasickness.
Yeah.
So
Me
Jessie
too.
thinks that I should not go on a cruise.
Yeah, I don't think I would like it. And then I've also heard other people say, I thought the same thing. I thought I wouldn't like it, and then I went and it was awesome, and I would totally do it again. Highly recommend it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm still not convinced.
I think if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't want to do it, but I think it's a good thing to do with kids. Like
because you're trapped in one central
well,
location.
like they have like things to do, but like
kids. Yeah,
you can still do your own thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, I also have seen way too many horror stories about cruises.
that's true.
Like people falling over the sides and like or intentionally being pushed. And also, remember when COVID first started and it like there was an outbreak on a cruise ship and then they just had to like dock the cruise ship and just everybody on the cruise ship just had to get COVID and they weren't allowed to return to anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine just being stuck on a cruise ship?
Yeah. There's someone, I'm not friends with her, but we went to high school together, so we're like connected on Instagram, and she worked on a cruise like a dancer or a singer or something like that. And I remember her posting about like storms at sea.
Yeah.
So that would be scary.
Scary.
Yeah.
And also like you have limited resources on a boat, which I'm sure they're like way overstocked. Like I'm sure they budget for emergencies and everything. But also like, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? It's just like there is no other way to get more resources if you are stranded at sea.
When I was in college,
I just can't.
I didn't study abroad, but I was looking into semester at sea.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and like semester at sea wasn't like covered as a semester through my school. So then they had this thing called like a Maymester, where it was just you go for the month of May, and it was cheaper, so I wouldn't have to like miss a whole semester of school or whatever. And I was gonna do that and just like cruise for a month. And then they were like, oh, we're not doing that 1 month cruise thing anymore. But I was like ready to go do my 1 month of cruising.
Dang.
Never happened.
Well, maybe you have to book a cruise and you can report back and let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say I heart the idea of it, and then I'll have to report back. Yeah.
Okay. You can always change your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Heart it or hate it, creatine supplements.
I've never had them.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what they are.
Okay, so creatine, I mean, I don't really know either, but I'm putting it in my body. So creatine is like one of the supplements that I feel like is like popular in the gym world. It's supposed to help with like muscle growth.
Okay.
And
helps you get swole.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So you know me, I am hitting that kickboxing gym like
the
5-6 times a week. And honestly, I should be incorporating other means of exercise into my routine, which is a topic for another day. But so I started taking a creatine supplement, and I'm taking it in like a powder form that you like mix into a drink. So it's like strawberry lemonade flavored, and it's delicious, BTW. But I did like the two week like loading phase where you take you take like 3 doses a day or whatever.
Sure.
To like saturate the muscles, and then after once you get it up to this certain point, then you can just like maintain it at like 1 dose a day, but you have to load it to get it all the way up first. And so I did the loading phase, And now I'm in the maintenance phase of just doing 1 dose a day. And honestly, like, I don't really know if I notice a difference.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, that's the thing, is like, maybe I need other people to notice the difference, or I should have maybe taken like before or after like flex photos, like to see if I have bigger muscles now. Yeah. So anyways, so I don't know. I guess heart it.
Okay.
Because, like, I'm drinking a strawberry lemonade drink, so...
I mean, it doesn't seem like there's that much harm. It doesn't taste terrible.
No.
So,
yeah.
You know.
And, like, I'm, you know, it's, like, safe to use and whatever. So,
okay.
I guess I'll go heart it.
Well, I'm going to go hate it.
Because you haven't had it, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I hope other gym girlies, like, in the Instagram stories can tell me if they like it or hate it, or, like, if they've even had it. So, anyways. That's what I'm up to these days. Creatine loading.
Last one. Heart it or hate it. Concerts.
Okay. This is going to make me sound lame. I think I've created a reputation for being lame on this podcast.
You never want to do anything.
Well, like, you know, remember it was like amusement parks. I was like, hate it.
Yeah.
And you were like, you know, arcades, hate it. Like, Dominique doesn't like to do anything
it's also
remotely
like the holidays.
Fun.
Like Halloween, hate it.
Well, I don't really like Halloween. It's not my vibe.
So I'm gonna hate it.
I'm gonna go hate it. Oh, that makes me sound so lame. But I go to concerts and I do enjoy myself when I am there. Mm-hmm. I just, something about it it's not my favorite thing. And I always feel like it's overpriced.
That's my thing. I'm going to say hate it because to me, I'm just not willing to spend the money for it.
Right. Like, mind you, I did see the Taylor Swift Eras tour.
That's like an exception.
I did. Hold on. Let me backtrack, because this is the girl who booked a week-long trip to Paris to see Taylor Swift Eras tour.
But that was probably
year.
Cheaper than seeing
it. It was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 1,000% why we went.
Yeah.
It was cheaper to see the concert in Paris, including plane tickets and everything, than it was to see her at Gillette. Because it was like $1,500, $2,000 for the tickets. And I'm just like, think of how many people, and not just Taylor Swift, right? Like, I've also seen like Olivia Rodrigo tickets, $500, like whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, I'm all for, like, this is how they make a living. I get that. But also celebrities are so overpaid. And again, not just like not just musicians and artists, like performers. I think this too about like professional athletes, like that you make way too much money. Like, what could you possibly be doing with that much money? And so I'm just like, think of how many people are in a stadium for one concert. And then when that person is on tour, granted, they're paying for the stadium, they're paying all the people who are on tour with them, like all the staff, all the promoters, whatever. So I get that, but it's like, you still at the end of the day make way too much money to justify tickets being $500, $1,500. And I'm like, I had fun, I enjoyed this experience, but was it worth, with the exception of Taylor Swift, because again, those tickets were pretty damn cheap, and I went to freaking Paris, France.
Yeah.
Like, was this regular ass Friday night at Gillette Stadium worth $500 to me, plus parking, plus gas, plus tailgating,
and like the nightmare of like getting in and out.
Yeah, getting in and out, like taking, back when I was like working for other people, taking a whole like half day off from work,
like $20.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a little out of hand. So it's like, I don't enjoy this as much because it is so expensive.
Yeah. Again, I think, so I'm going to say hate it. I think there was a time years ago that like I was going to concerts like all over, like all through the summer.
Yeah.
And there are people still now that like, you know, they go to just like dozens of concerts a year. Mm-hmm. And like, that's their thing and they love to do it and that's great. But like the last few times I've been like, oh, this person is coming to Boston. Like, I'd really like to go see them. And then I look up the ticket price and I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks.
Yeah, it's tough. It's hard to justify spending that much money in such a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. So, and it's like, people are like, but it's like a once in a lifetime experience. And I'm like, yeah, but how many times can I say that about every different artist that I listen to?
Right.
Like, I think the Taylor Swift Eras Tour was a once in a lifetime, and I think that's fine. Like, that's okay. I did it once, great.
Yes.
How about all the people, sorry to get like off topic kind of, but like all the people who went to the Eras Tour multiple times?
Right.
I was like, I get it. It was a good show. I hear you. But
Yeah.
also, like, that's insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
I know. You know, if you got the means, like, go for it. I wanted to go to the Eras Tour, but like the prices, and then I was like, I saw the Reputation tour. Like,
yeah,
obviously not.
And now
the
you
same.
get to see it on TV.
Yeah.
So like again, maybe not the same as being there, but pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see the whole show and all the cool things she did. So I don't know.
All right.
I think that's it, right? For Heart It or Hate It. All right, that's it for Heart It or Hate It, and we will see you next week.
Later, ladies.
Bye.